What is going on, everybody? I'm back with another video. Thank you all for joining me. Today I'll be talking about the Kershaw Tilt. Now this is a knife that's been long awaited by the knife community, and rightly so. It's a very awesome knife and very radically designed in my opinion. Now I'm going to give you guys what I think about this knife at the very end. So right now let's go and go over some facts and specs about this knife. So let's start with the blade. Now this is a composite blade. Even though it's coated black, you can see there's a line where the Van Axe 75 cutting edge meets the other steel. Now they decided to coat the blade at the last moment because they said they had I believe some corrosion problems with the steel. So I was a little bit disappointed, but you know, it still doesn't take away from the fact that this knife is really awesome. It does have the Kershaw logo here, as well as the composite logo there. Dual thumb studs. On the other side you have the Van Axe 75 labeling is Kai, which is of course the company, and 4001 is the model number, made in the USA, serial number 097. Now, judging by the amount of places in the serial number, I'm going to assume that they cannot make a maximum of 999 knives. So this is a limited production. I don't remember whether or not they're going to make a production run of these knives. Well, I'm sure they will. I don't know. They've done it with all the other limited edition knives. So. It does say tilt on this pocket clip. It's very cool. Actually, the pocket clip looks like a clip for a pen, really. One small gripe is that you can easily bend it out, but it is reversible to the tip up and tip down carry. But of course, sorry lefties, nothing for the left-handed side, unfortunately. This is the titanium side, very beautiful. And I was watching this excellent video done by PRS Player, I believe his name is, or YouTube username is, and he is talking about this locking bar where they develop a system where they cut the locking bar at a 45-degree angle instead of like just perpendicular straight down. So what that does is it creates an angle where the locking bar cannot be overextended, and it does not necessitate a need for another piece to add extra weight and bulk and, you know, unsightly appearance. So basically it's one clean piece, and look, the locking bar, I'm pushing on as hard as I can here, the locking bar will not extend past that point because of the 45-degree angle cut. I mean, how awesome is that? That is a great feat of engineering right there. Show you what the lockup looks like here. So, knife is very smooth, and I'll be demonstrating that in a second. Oh, it does have a lanyard hole here, but let me get to that in a second. In fact, let me grab my flashlight here. I want to show you something really cool. I don't know if anybody else has said this already, but inside the liners are milled. But you see right there, there's a weird perpendicular cut. So that's actually the words tilt. It will be hard to see on the camera here, but believe me, I was staring at this thing. I was like, oh, that's cool. They actually wrote the name of the knife, or they milled out the name of the knife inside there. So you can see even part of the carbon fiber poking through or showing through on the word tilt. So very awesome how they did that. So essentially, if you were to take off this carbon fiber piece, the words tilt would be right here. So on the back, you see it's got the stop pin, spacers, standoffs, and then a barrel spacer back here for the lanyard hole. Very cool. And here's the smooth G10 side. Now this is not like the Sage 1 where you can feel the individual weaves. This is very smooth, and it has a coating over it. Nicely nicely finished off edges here, so there's no sharp edges anywhere on this knife. Even in between here is really nice, you know. A slight bit of an edge, but still nothing that can cut you with. So when you're gripping onto this knife hard, it's not gonna you know, hurt you. So here's the back here, and I do like it that they actually made it so both scales together are the same width as each other. They didn't make the side extra thick or anything like that. So very awesome. So let's get to the opening, and first of all I want to show you the closing. So I demonstrated, if you guys watch my videos, that this knife is very smooth. Watch, it just closes with the weight of its own blade. It comes out really quick, or if you want to, just pull it nice and slow, and it opens up nice and slow. But it's so, the KVT system on here, Kershaw's Velocity Technology, is so smooth. You know, it's much smoother, a little bit more smoother, I would say, than my IKBS. You know, pretty distinctive actually. And what I saw is online, I saw a photo of the knife taken apart and the KVT system. What it is they have it's like a ball bearing system, but it has individual pockets or wells where the actual ball bearings go, whereas in the IKBS, I believe it's just a round circular channel where the ball bearings are just, you know, within there. So a little bit different, you know, and I think they're both great, IKBS and KVT. I mean, they're very smooth, and I love this watch. The blade just falls down. It's so cool. It's so smooth. I can do this all day, by the way. This is really awesome. See? I don't even have to exert any kind of force or any kind of effort to close the knife. But definitely a very cool knife. So now, what do I really think about this knife? When I first saw this knife, I was like, wow, you know, from the blade is awesome. You know, it's got this nice utilitarian straight cut razor edge, which I like, Warncliffe style. Then as my eyes traveled toward the handle, I was like, holy crap, this thing's got an elbow in it. You know, I don't really know about that. But after staring at it for a long time, I was like, you know what? I actually do like it. I like the straight angles here, you know, like some guy just went on and designed it with a ruler. And it's very radical, very different from any other knife that I've owned or actually really seen, for that matter. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna go pick it up, right? So right before it shipped, I pre-ordered this from Blade HQ. Right before it shipped, it showed this black model here, and I'm like, well, what the hell is this, you know? Because I was expecting it to have the bead blast with the copper line and, you know, and the silver titanium side, right? And then I watched a review video of this later on. I mean, it was too late to cancel my order. You know, I still, you know, didn't really want it at that time. You know, but they said it was said that they coated the blade because it had some corrosion problems. You know, but now I will say honestly that now I actually have the Kershaw tilt in my hand. I'm very glad I did not cancel my order. This is a very awesome knife and fit for any kind of collector or any kind of user, a knife user, knife collector out there. I mean, it feels great in the hand. You can hold it back here, you know, for extra reach. You can hold it up on the two cutouts here and get a little bit more control. And as you can see, it's not a very small knife. It's a really large knife. And as you guys can see at the beginning of this, you know, next to the dollar bill, you know, it's not small at all. So, it just fills the hand really well, and for something this small, it's actually really lightweight too. I mean, I can't believe, you know, I can't believe how lightweight this thing really is. So it's really cool. I would say I would have to recommend anyone to pick this knife up, and rightfully so, because it has a lot of great things going for it. It's got the KVT system. It's got this radical design. It's really smooth to operate and you know, flip out. It's just great, you know. So it's got a lot of things going for it. That I don't see any other knife that has, and it's kind of more like a evolution in knife technology and knife design, in my opinion. So very awesome. I really do like this knife a lot now, despite it being completely black coated. All right. Okay, well, questions, comments, please leave it below. I want to thank everybody for joining me on this video. So until next time, take care.